Hello everyone, and welcome to another deck video here on the Jolly Scarecrows channel. Today you're with me, Joe, and you're also with a Vennominaga Turbo deck. This is a sleek kind of follow-up to our previous Venom deck. That one focused more on using Venom counters to drain your opponent's monsters. This is more of a deck specifically involving Vennominaga and trying to play it as quickly as you can. So a lot of the kind of themed cards have been taken out, and it's just more of a kind of slick operation. So for those of you who don't know, Vennominaga is a card that can win you the duel by itself, quite literally. So basically it's not affected by card effects, and you need to inflict battle damage with it 3 times in order to get the win. And when it's destroyed by battle, you can banish a reptile monster from your graveyard to bring it back. So it's pretty good in that it can't be targeted and it can only be destroyed by battle, plus it gains 500 attack for every reptile in your grave. So its weakness, and it's a big weakness, is how difficult it is to summon. However, recently the YuGiOhDecks archetype, it's quite difficult to say, has probably really improved how quickly this deck can operate. And it always had a really good card in it, and that was Snake Rain. So I'm going to start kind of here with the spells. So in order to get reptile monsters in the grave, as that's kind of one of the main functions of the deck, we've got this thing, Snake Rain, discard 1 card, send 4 reptile monsters from your deck to your graveyard. And then YuGiOhDecks Water Lily, send 1 reptile monster, and then if you have 5 with different names, you could special summon a reptile monster from your graveyard. And so that can be this Vennominaga, the King of Poisonous Snakes. So this is the mini-boss before you can reach Vennominaga. So Vennominaga has a similarly destructive effect, but it can be destroyed when it's targeted by card effects. So you're going to try and get off this key trap card beforehand. So the only way you can play Vennominaga is by using this card, Rise of the Snake Deity, this trap. So when a Vennominaga is destroyed, so you're going to want to have it there, and you're going to want to attempt, bait your opponent's destruction. Use Rise of the Snake Deity, and that lets you summon the Vennominaga straight from your hand or deck, and from there you're in business. So we're running 2 copies of that and 3 copies of Trap Trick. So Trap Trick lets you banish one of these from the deck, and then lets you bring it out. So hopefully you will be able to set that up in your first turn. We're running quite a bit of draw power. We're running 3 Pot of Extravagance and 3 Trade-In. The Vennominaga and the Aaron are both 8 stars, so we're running 6 targets for 3 Trade-In, so that's pretty good, and hopefully you'll get through them really quickly. Right, I think we should go to the YuGiOhDecks monsters themselves, because they also serve as really good support for the deck. So with this card, basically you contribute monsters on your field to summon itself straight from the graveyard, and when your opponent draws, it has a really nice effect. It's almost like Dark Law, that it sends 1 card randomly from your opponent's hands to the graveyard, so that's obviously really nice to keep yourself in advantage. And then when your monsters are sent to the graveyard, you can keep adding light or dark reptiles from your deck to your hand. Obviously, Vennominaga is dark, so you can really quickly get that in. Then maybe use Trade-In or something like that. The 4 stars are also kind of nice. We're running 1 Yugioh, or Nihil, sorry, 1 Zohar, and then 2 of the Nunu, and they all kind of work in kind of discarding them to send another monster from your deck to the graveyard, so you can quite quickly fill up your graveyard, which is one of the main themes of the deck. This one is really good because if you control no monsters, you can special summon it from the graveyard. You can even do that if you've got an YuGiOhDecks, so often those will be the monsters you have on the field until you're able to get out the Vennominaga. The Nyu basically lets you add an YuGiOhDecks spell or trap to your hand when it's summoned, and the one obviously you're going to try to get is Water Lily. And the Boundless basically It has a kind of a neat kind of draw effect, and you can recurse it back to your hand just in case you need a forcer on the field. That can sometimes be handy. If you've got one already, you can bring this back, summon it, and then you can get something like King of the Feral Imps out. So this Xyz requires 2 level 4s and lets you add a reptile from your deck to your hand. Bang, straight away you've got that Vennominaga again. And if you do need to, like I've said a lot of ways about special summoning Vennominaga using spell cards, you can obviously tribute 2 monsters to summon it if you're in a pinch. What cards haven't I gone on about? Oh yeah, so you need 5 monsters with different names in your graveyard. So 2 which are really cool are this new card, Yami Mori Mori. This lets you basically banish it, and you can. It's almost like an electromagnetic turtle or Necro Gardener, one of these kinds of cards that you can banish from your graveyard to impact the field. This one lets you target a reptile that you control and a monster your opponent does, and you can either set them both face down, or basically you can disrupt battle phase actions. Super nice. And then Yowie seems overpowered. It's not really in practice. Basically, if it's summoned, your opponent skips their next draw phase. So yeah, and it restricts the amount you can special summon after that, which is a bit annoying, and you can only use it once per duel. But yeah, this can be pretty nice to bring out. It can really disrupt and a potential counterpunch the opponent might have. Dangerous Ushinoko, again, fits really well with the theme. It's danger monster, so they're always going to be quite powerful. The last card I haven't talked about, if you thought that deck needed something to knit it together, this is it. Viper's Rebirth. What a card! So if all monsters in your graveyard are reptile, and they should be, because unless your opponent's playing zombies, every card in here is reptile. You can target a non-tuner and special summon it, but destroy it during the end phase. Think about that for a second. Vennominaga, non-tuner, can't be special summoned by an effect monster, can be special summoned with the spell, and this effect works when it's destroyed. So this is already going to destroy it, so all you need to do is have that Rise of the Snake Deity set, and then during your end phase you're going to get a powerhouse non-targetable boss monster on the field, which is potentially going to win you the game. So yeah, I really like kind of using this deck. I think it surprises people how good Vennominaga can be. Most of the Xyz monsters are fodder for Pot of Extravagance. Obviously, King of the Feral Imps can be really useful. Gets you any monster from your deck to your hand, basically, which is super nice. We're running kind of your basic staple links, the Nightmares, and your basic kind of 4-star Xyz engine, but honestly, they're more of an extra, really. You can fiddle around with this as much as you want. Yeah, that's all for me. I hope you've enjoyed this deck video, and go and see it on YuGiOh Pro. Come and give us some comments if you think you can play it, and come and watch us on Twitch if you want to see it in action. Sayonara.